Hi everyone! Today on our Rita Berman ice cream page we have this fun sort of ice lolly to do. Now it reminds me a little bit of an ice lolly that we get here in the UK. Sorry, I closed my pencils out. Called a twister, and I think it is pink and green, and I just thought it might be fun to do this in the same colours. I think it's quite a light green, so I've grabbed this one, number 50. To start with, and I think I'm going to start at the bottom because I'm not sure what quite to do at the top there yet. And how I'm going to colour this is I'm going to make it darker here along the edge, a little bit paler in the middle. Now these are actually not frozen water, flavoured water like normal sort of ice lollies. Oh, there's a train. These are actually ice cream. So this colour works. Normally you wouldn't use this sort of pastel-y type colour for frozen water. You would want it to be something that would look more, have more depth, be less pastel and sort of look a bit shiny. But we're not worrying about that here because it's ice cream. Now obviously I don't think this is what this is supposed to be. I don't know what Rita had in mind, whether there's a ice cream that she's tried somewhere that looks a bit like this, I'm not sure. What I'm going to do with this top bit is I'm going to sort of only go up to there with the green, and we'll have a pink tip to our ice lolly, which will be fun. It's sort of like an ice cream on a stick really, I suppose, the twister. It's quite a fun one though. So there is our green, and the pink was a quite pale pastel-y pink. So I am going to pick this one. Whoops, let's just move that pencil out of the way a minute. Number 20, and do the same as I did before. So darker on the edges, like that. It's actually quite a bit too dark, this pink. I'm pressing a bit too hard. It doesn't matter. And a bit there. It's not going to look identical anyway because it's a slightly different design. But the colours, do they go together? Not really. But they didn't in the original ice lolly. I mean, I always think green goes with most things that are floral colours because we're used to seeing green leaves next to flowers. But not sure. So my husband was on the phone yesterday telling his brother about the colour of our new kitchen, saying it was purple and green. And I think if you thought it was that and that, you would think, ugh, but it isn't at all. It's more like that and that. You see there's a huge difference. It's not exactly like that, but it's a really dark bluey green, and the purple is more like an aubergine. There's not a colour like it in this set. I would say the aubergine in the Castle Arts pencil, something like that. So quite dark, and I would say that was really dark pink. I wouldn't say it was purple, but that's me. I perhaps I'm just being a bit weird. Now these little bits here, I'm thinking because it's an ice cream, I'm going to colour them like ice cream. Oops. So like we did on this one, I'm going to use this number 10. I could use it a little bit more gently. That one looks a little bit too lemony for my liking, so I'm just going to use a really light amount. I'm sure it'll still show up. You can always do this a different colour. I just think it brings together that pink and green, but it's up to you. So I feel really hot now. I've just eaten my tea. Stick, what do you think? I'm thinking this brown. Yeah, I've just eaten my tea. Number 73, and actually I'm looking at that thinking I want it to be a white stick, and I'm going to change my mind entirely and go for this grey, which is number 80, a really light grey. Just put a little bit of shadow on the edges and leave it white. Just going to bring that in a bit. We need to make sure we leave some white so it looks white and not grey. Wow, maybe it does look grey now, but that's how it is. So anyway, that is all there is to that lolly. And it really is quite simple. We really haven't taken much time at all. I think what I'm going to do is actually do a few of the background bits because that's so quick. So I'm going to come out so we can see the whole page. Oh, there we go. And I'm just going to show you what I'm going to use for the stars for a start. I'm going to do all of the things that look the same in the same colour. So for the stars, I'm going to use 16. I think this is quite a goldish colour. And I'm just going to colour them all in quite solidly because I think I might add some sparkle. See, this star is a little bit odd, but I think I'm just going to still go over it all with the same colour. I don't really know what else to do with it. I'm a bit confused as to what it is. I'm just going to sort of work my way down each row of items so that I don't miss any stars out. And my plan is to sort of do all the things I know what colour I want to do them and that sort of are obvious with regards to the colour, and then do the other things later with colours that I think will just work. As I mean, what's that? I don't know. So there is a star. We can sort of go up here. Here's another one of these that look rather strange. I've got no idea what it is. But there we go. And this one again, same sort of strange star. See, some of these things, I think, are they sprinkles or things to do with the ice creams? But then we've got like a flower. I mean, yes, you can get sugar flowers, so maybe that's it. Is this like a marshmallow? I just don't know. And these look like bubbles. I don't want bubbles on my ice cream. It's a bit soapy. I'm just looking to check that I've done all of the stars. I have. I'm going to do something else as well because we really have got quite a few minutes. This is very short. I'm going to use the really dark brown, 77, and do all the triangles as if they're chocolate in the dark brown. And I think it always looks good if you do quite a hard layer when it's supposed to be chocolate. It's sort of, I don't know, makes it look more convincing to me because chocolate is quite a solid colour. Might have a little bit of shine, but it really needs to be quite solid, for want of a better word. So I hope everyone's well today. It's August here, schools are out, so I don't know how that affects people with regards to colouring, whether it gives them more or less time. I suspect some parents have to take time off work to look after their children, and then that might free them up some time, depending on whether they're taking their children out and about places. It depends on the age of your children, really. When mine were toddlers, I really didn't have a lot of time to myself. I was working from home at the same time. That was a challenge, but they used to, luckily, because they're twins, they would play with each other. That's okay. And then school holidays, I used to take them into town with me and go and visit grandparents. And on one day a week, we would often meet up with a friend and her little girl. Sometimes I would look after her little girl while she was at work. So that would be fun, to have some fun together. I'm going to do this blue one, number 37, for all this sort of, there's like these that look like raindrops. I don't know if they're supposed to be lolly drips, but I think it's quite fun to introduce some blue. We haven't got any blue on this page yet, so why not? Why not do some blue? We'll do a bit more blue as well on some of these background items. Excuse me. Here we go. My voice gets a bit hoarse towards the end of the day. When I get really tired, my voice completely disappears, but I'm not really tired yet. But it's quite funny. Or strange, I'm not sure. See, of course you might want to do these drips lips in the colour of the ice cream or ice lolly that they're near to. Just looking around in case, see if that's all there is. Let me see, I quite fancy doing these florals, they're these flowers. I want to do them in this really dark, actually that's not the darkest blue, I'm going to go for this really dark blue, number 33. I just fancy doing something really dark. I'm not going to do the centres. What I'm going to do, it's probably hard for you to see, is to go around the edge of the petal and then bring that colour towards the centre with less layers so that the centre of each petal is slightly paler than the outside. You don't have to do it this way, you can just do a solid colour if that's easier for you. It's quite a small space. Excuse me. Let's just put that back to central position. And we do that again. Yeah, I used to really look forward to the school holidays, such a lovely time. There are lots of advantages. Having some little helpers in the house is always good. Not that they enjoy that, but it's good for them, I think, to do some jobs. And my boys today helped cook. They helped me with the washing. Yeah, little bits. It's all good practice for them. They need to know that they have to do these things when they get older anyway, and also that they should do their share when they're old enough. Anyway, I used to look forward to the holidays for that, having little helpers around. Sometimes when they're really little, they're actually not much of a help. By the time you've shown them how to do it, you could have done it twice. But you have to remember the importance of teaching them, because they do need to know. And it's something you can do together, which is really fun. And yeah, having company around the house is always nice. Playing games together, going out together, things like that. So it is lovely. But mine are home now, as I say, plugged into headphones, so loud that they couldn't hear me talking to them earlier. And even when I did repeat myself loudly enough so they could hear, my one son said, "I'm not listening." Okay, he's a bit grumpy at the minute. I think it's the heat. So, but also they're still young, hormonal, you know. I have a bit of sympathy with it, but I don't let them be too naughty, rude, because it's not nice. But they're normally kind. So I think he's feeling a bit tired. Hopefully tonight he'll get a good sleep. And no one will have to rush up tomorrow, although my husband usually does to get to the farmer's market. He always seems to think that if he doesn't get there for the minute they open, they're going to sell out of everything. I'm sure they're not. Now the flower centres I want to do in this yellow number 1, but it's going to be a bit tricky to see it. But I'm going to do it, and I can just about see it. I don't want to press so hard that I make a hole in the paper. Just go gently. That one I did in blue. Never mind. Not going to worry. Now we have these little florals, so I'm going to do those in this colour, I think. This is number 5. And I'm going to do these little sprigs of leaves, and I'm actually not going to try and shade them because they're too small. I'm just going to fill them in. I'm going to keep it really simple. Simple for myself. Wondering whether to do the other leaves in the same colour or a different colour. Oh, I knew there was some more. There they are. Oops. Let me hold the page still. Might be easier. I've got any more. Oh yes, down here. I was hiding them with my hand. Now what? What to do next? We have these sort of bubbles. I'm going to do them in a really light blue. So this is number 30. I'm trying not to press very hard. I want them really faint. Just enough so you can see there's some colour without it being too dark. And maybe these are them as well, but I don't really know. I think I'm just going to do all the circles in this colour. There's some here too though. One there. Oh, a couple here. And here. There's lots above this one. I mean, obviously if these are light bubbles that you blow, they would be in sort of rainbow colours really. It's quite tricky. I'm trying to keep it simple. Now where should we go? Oh, we've got a sprig there that we missed. Now I've got this one I'm going to do in this colour, which is the number 57. So you might want to actually just use the colours that you've used in the main picture for the background, but I think that I'm tending to use colours that we haven't used, which I think is quite fun. But it means that we've definitely not got a reduced colour palette. Just looking if there's another one, but I think that's the only one. Now these shapes, this and this and this and this and this, I'm going to do them all in the same colour. And I'm thinking that they might be either lemon or orange segments. Because this one's next to this orange, I think I'm going to do them lemon. This is our lemony, no it's not. This is our lemony now, number 10. We're going to have to press quite hard to get a lemony colour, and I'm going to do it all over in the same tone of colour, like that. You could do some more shading, but I'm not going to. I don't know if I am going to do those the same. One here. There's one above as well. There we go. Now these look to me a bit like sort of dolly mixtures. So that's how I'm going to colour them. You may not know what a dolly mixture is. I'm just going to do it really lightly with the pink, top and bottom, just leave a little bit of a shine, go around there. But a dolly mixture is a type of candy or sweet that has a white centre. It's a bit like a licorice all sort, which you may not know what that is either. Sort of different colours, but these are just really sugary. There's one down here, and no licorice. They're much nicer. They're sort of designed for younger children because younger children don't like licorice. Now, quite like these, I've got number 29 here for these because they look like a red and white sweet to me. I'm going to do a little bit top and bottom, leave a bit in the centre to make it look like it's got a bit of a shine. Oops. And do the middle. Okay. Ooh. And down here. So if you make it look like it's got a bit of a shine by leaving a white bit in the middle, it helps the shape. It looks more rounded. Have we only got two? Looks like it. Okay, now these things, I'm thinking honeycomb. Don't know why, so I'm going to grab this brown, number 49, and colour them all over with that. Oh, we've got another leaf there. I knew there was another one. How did I not spot it? It's really close to the other one. I think that's all of that. We'll do that leaf. Remember, it was number 57. I think it looks like I just slightly faded it towards the tip just a little bit. That's what I will do. Now these round ones here look like mints to me, but you can't do a mint in a white, so I'm going to do it in this 56. It's a little 56. Quite lightly. I know it's not a mint green, but it just, I don't know. I'm sure there used to be a mint that I used to have as a child that had a wrapper that was this colour, but I may just be dreaming. Sure, on the wall was Pick and Mix. You could get one that colour. Right, we are getting close. Now I've got these little swirly bits. What should we do? I know. We'll do this colour, which we haven't used yet, which is the lilac-y purple, number 62. Oh, it's here. These bits too. So I'm just doing quite hard colouring really. Now we have a few dots and dashes, but we have this looks like an Easter egg. What sort of colour should we do that? I think we haven't done this really dark orange. We'll do this, number 24, and we'll sort of keep it fairly simple by going around the edge and then just gently bring in that colour in till it's quite light, like that. I think we've got mainly dots and dashes left, and so I'm going to do all of those in the same colour, and I'm going to pick the colour. I'm going to do this one. This is number 25. I'm going to do them quite hard, quite dark. I'm going to use them for this one. Those three need to be in the lilac-y colour. I'll grab that one in a minute. Just do all of these in this. And then grab that lilac-y colour for those swirly bits. This is number 62. Like that. And back to here. Feels like we've used every colour in the box, but when I actually look in the tin, there's still quite a few left in there. We haven't used the black or the white or the greys. I did use the grey. Put it back in the tin. It's naughty of me. I've been leaving them out so I can make a list for you. Oh, there's a few here. And then we're done, I think, with the background items. Now I was never intending on colouring the background. Something you could do, which I won't do because I've still got this one to do, which will be the next video. You could get some dots of sparkly pen and just dot them all around. It's a really cheats background, it's quite good fun. But anyway, I'm going to finish there for today. So we've done that little background, and we'll do this one tomorrow because it's a fairly complex design. It will take some time. We'll pop it in its own video. So for now, thank you very much for watching. Have a really lovely day and happy colouring.